Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. This is a very special spotlight broadcast with the Union-Endicott Tigers. You know that Tom Baleno, the head coach of their football team, has been with us many times over the past couple of years, and I'm very happy to have him back as the team is in the state semifinals going up against Section 5 as they are the Section 4 champs here, which I'm very, very proud to say that Section 4 Class A champs and all the work that they've done and everything that Tom has done over the years here. Definitely appreciate it. And today, not only do we have a spotlight on Union-Endicott, but I decided to don my Tiger shirt for the Union-Endicott Tigers. So with that being said, inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, Tom, how are you?
I'm doing great, Dan. Thanks for having me. I love that shirt. That's like a Siberian tiger with the white on black. That's a good thing right there.
Yeah.
That's a real breed.
Yes, this tiger, this shirt has done well by me. So hopefully it'll do well by you. Like I said, we're in the Cafe Kubal Studios, 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 401 South Salina Street, all in Syracuse, in their double-decker cafe on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, and on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners in North Syracuse in their drive-through. Tom, you came up to Central New York to CNS to play your game up against West Genesee. You and I got to talk on a very, very cold field after the game. Just now that you've had some time to reflect and look at the film, what your biggest takeaways were from that matchup?
That was a very good West Jenny team, and we played one of our best football games. So that was really nice to see. So we're really peaking at the right time. Hopefully that continues because every game after this is going to be difficult, right? So the great takeaway from West Jenny was we all dress appropriately for the weather. You know, sometimes high school kids don't like to dress the right way. So it was cold out there, but no one felt the cold. We had a lot of energy on the sideline, and that was really exciting. I really liked the intensity that we had. I think I had multiple people in the stands just saying that they felt our energy on the field, and that was good. So we need to continue that energy, playing for each other, playing with love and passion for the game and for one another, and keep that energy up.
And you talk about that energy. How has it evolved over the season?
Well, I think at first, it kind of, starts like a snowball, right? At the top of a mountain. You want it to be nice and small and kind of gets momentum and builds as it goes down that mountain, as it goes towards the end of the season. So we want to take every game like that, and we want to take every practice like that, and even practices during the week. At our Monday practice, we want it to be, kind of that small snowball, a little bit of energy, keep on going. And when we get to Friday, we just want to really, peak out at that point.
You said that you feel like the team is playing their best football right now. What was it in that West Genesee game in the regional for states that you thought, wow, this team has really bought into something that we talked about as a coaching staff, or they finally did that thing I talked about in week 3? Like, what are some of those things that came together in that game that you felt like you can go back and say, we've been trying to teach this and now we're really seeing that? Because the win was a dominant victory.
Well, that's exciting about coaching and teaching is like when you see those like aha moments that those kids have and they finally get it, and like you said, it finally clicks. I think one thing was just being able to capitalize on your opponent's mistakes. So instead of like letting them off the hook, we're able to kind of like capitalize and start taking advantage of opportunities that we get. So I thought we did that offensively, and we certainly did that defensively. So when they had a turnover, we're able to either recover the ball and actually put it in the end zone with a scoop and score, or with a pick six, or we're able to just recover the ball, and then the offense next play scores a touchdown on it. So we're able to take advantage of what the other teams give us, and that's exciting to see. That's kind of like a growth and a development and kind of like a maturity of a team.
Multiple defensive touchdowns in that game. You and I addressed it right after the game. It was a sight to see, and even especially at the end of the first half, where you look like you were about to take down and sack their quarterback Ferenzi, and he forced the pass. You grabbed the interception, ran it back for a touchdown, and then what looked to be an untimely snap that went over the head of Ferenzi. And as he went to chase it down, one of your guys was able to pick it up and take that home as well. And in just a short period of time to score two defensive touchdowns, two touchdowns in general, right before halftime to really blow the doors open on the game before the break. Just what you can say about the defensive play in that regional, and then specifically those back-to-back scores that were so rapid that really blew the game open.
Well, yeah, there's a lot to it. It certainly makes it really easy when you have those big defensive plays like that. It was great to just see us kind of like do what we were supposed to do, right? So the momentum really changed, and really helped us kind of going into halftime. But even more importantly than those defensive scores, I liked how our offense came out at halftime, was able to drive, after half, drive down the field, eat up like 6 minutes of the clock, and then punch it in too. So it was all around kind of a great performance offensively and defensively. Defense kind of set the table, and then the offense was able to kind of finish the meal, which was really nice to see.
That coming from Tom Baleno, the head coach of the Union-Endicott Tigers football team here as we head on to the state semis. I got to ask you this because I felt it at the game and I wasn't smart. I didn't bring gloves. I was like, that'll be fine. I'm a North kid. How do you even feel the cold anymore coaching on the sidelines? I mean, for as long as you've done it, do you address it? Do you feel it? Do you even know that it's there anymore? Or does your body kind of just go numb?
Well, I kind of, you have to coach warm, sometimes if your mind, you have to play warm too, right? If your mind gets distracted with anything, it could be something going on, in your private life at your home, or it could be something going on at work or whatnot. If that's like in the, back part of your mind, it's hard to stay focused on what you're trying to get done. So, and that includes the weather as well. So you have to kind of take care of all those other things and kind of, clear your mind and just so you can give your best effort. I think that goes with anything in life, right? Live in the now, live in the moment. That's how you're going to be a good father. That's how you're going to be a good husband, live in the now, put everything else aside and just give that moment everything that you have. So that's something that we really preach to the kids too. So don't let the moment become bigger than you, but enjoy it and embrace it and live in it. So that's adults, right? Sometimes we get wrapped up in things that we can't control, and we really should just live in the now and enjoy the time that the good Lord gave us in that moment.
From the time I met you to now, and you saying that reminded me, you have always been speaking on the bigger things in life, the bigger picture, the faith, the deeper messages. How do you stay grounded, and just what you can say about, focusing on things that are bigger than football? Because you use them in football, but since the day I met you and we sat next to each other, you've always talked about how to help yourself and stay mentally strong and stay faithful, stay positive. And it seems like you have a lot of things in the background that help to keep you grounded that you've kind of learned over time. And I want to appreciate that because the messages you're sending are messages that people need in and out of football.
Well, I appreciate you, mentioning that and actually recognizing that. And I appreciate you acknowledging that as well. The reason why I'm like that and I do that is I give all the credit to my mom. I have an Italian mom, so and I'm lucky to be born in a great family. So some people are unfortunate. My mom, she's a big church going woman, and my father is too, and they go to mass every day, and they pray for me, and that kind of helps me. I'm sure in everything in life. So I'm fortunate to have that in my background. So, and I appreciate that, and I acknowledge that, and that's what that's kind of like what helps me. And another thing is how do you judge your success as a coach, right? We'll just talk about just the coaching aspect, not success in life, but as a coach. If you only look at your record books and your wins and losses, then there's going to be a lot of unsuccessful coaches, right? And I don't really think that's the case. They're putting their heart, soul, mind, integrity, everything that they have into coaching young men. So or young women, or, whatever sport they're in, right? So judging your success just on your wins and losses is not going to be very fulfilling as a coach, especially for me. We don't always get these opportunities, right? And we don't always have the success. So you have to find another way to judge yourself as well, and kind of judge your success. And I look at towards, really building these, kids into young men and to adults, to move on after football, to reflect on, positive things, positive experiences,
Yeah.
friendships that they built, and responsibilities that they can overcome, and challenges that they'll face when they become young men and future husbands and fathers.
And I love that. And I do, I appreciate that very much so. The fact that you are looking beyond and you're trying to help these guys. I mean, yeah, you want to win a championship, but you said if we only judge ourselves on wins and losses, we only judge ourselves on the people that we asked out that said yes, the jobs that said yes, the house that we got. If you only base your life on the yeses and the wins, then you are losing a lot of the time. One of the things that I said when I look back on 19 years of being a broadcaster here in November, and 10 years of owning my own business plus at this point, I got to a point in my life where I said I got used to hearing no, and it didn't bother me anymore. And I think that anybody who's successful in life, we have heard no, we have heard maybe that was really a no. We've gone through a loss, we've gone through a you didn't make this team. I mean, you look at Michael Jordan and how he said how many shots he missed, how many times he didn't win a championship, how his high school team didn't want him. I mean, the best of the best have been turned away. Somebody somewhere, and I'm a true believer in this, that anybody that you consider successful in life, we can all tell you a story about a time where somebody didn't want us or something didn't work out. And I think that that's the beauty and the art of it. I don't think there's any success story that doesn't have turmoil, adversity, or a time where where other people told us we couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And adversity is a big factor. Life's not easy. Life's not easy. So, and when you're trying to, I don't really want to say get better or kind of promote yourself, but are you trying to advance in anything in life, right? You're going to be stepping into the unknown, right? So when you step into the unknown, that's how you grow, right? So if you only stay in your comfort zone, then you're not really growing. So once you step out of that comfort zone, then you can grow. So you can grow, mentally, physically, spiritually, you name it. But that's how, emotionally, that's how your growth is going to be coming. And that's how you grow, right? So, and when you step out of that comfort zone, sometimes you are going to hear the no's because you're going to be making some mistakes. And that's the biggest thing to overcome is the fear, the fear of failure. So once you overcome that fear and kind of put yourself out there and give it your best, you'll have no regrets. So I tell my players, I tell my children, I tell them, listen, you have to give everything you got. Give me a great effort, and whatever you do, whatever you sign your name on, if it's a homework, if it's a test, if it's practicing the trumpet, or if it's practicing football or soccer, whatever they're going to do.
Yeah.
And when you sign your name on, that's you. That's your signature. That's your ownership. So give it great effort. And if it succeeds, and then you should be happy, right? Because you gave it your best. And if it fails, then you should be able to live with that and not have regrets because you gave it your best. It's when you don't give your great effort, that's when you have those regrets in life, and those are the times that you're gonna have your nightmares, and then they're gonna haunt you because you didn't give it your best.
And I think too, to go off of that point, I think the people that don't give it their best and they do succeed or it does work out, they feel like they don't deserve that because they know the world might be saying, "Oh, that was great." Yeah, I'll never forget this. General manager at the first ESPN affiliate that I worked at in Scranton, PA. He had I don't know if he had ever listened to the show. And it was when it was called the Dan Tortora show, and I was doing that. And I saw him one day on the weekend. I was going in to do something because I work all the time. and I think it was like a Sunday, and I went in. I was going in the building, and I saw him, and he was like, "Hey, Dan." I said, "Hey, how are you?" He said, "Great." He said, "I heard you. I heard the show. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was great. Great work." And I remember standing there going, "Well, if he liked that show, then he's really going to like it if he listens again, because I think that's one of the worst shows I've ever done." And and I remember that. I never forgot the fact that it's like he thought that was good. I knew I could do way better. And I thought that was one of the worst shows I had ever put together. And so, I mean, that deep down in your heart, no matter what anybody says. And that's the thing. And what do you how do you teach your players that? Because these are young guys, and they live in a different world than you and I lived in. And we're not old people, but technology has gone so fast that when they get bullied every day, all day long. They get bullied on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, so on and so forth, Snapchat. So when somebody wants to tell them you suck as a player, or you can't do this, or no girl likes you, or you're not going to make it in life, when these guys hear this on your team, they hear it at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. How do you address with them staying mentally tough? And something I always say to myself, outside noise by definition belongs outside. So leave it there. Don't bring it in your house. How do you teach them that? And how do you deal with that with young men living in a society where anybody can talk to them at any given time from anywhere in the world?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know if I don't know if I'm smart enough that answer. I mean, we tell them, stay in our lane and stay positive. Positive things happen to positive people, and I know that they hear good and bad, and sometimes they hear too many goods, and everyone thinks that they're perfect, and they tell them how great they are all the time, and that's not healthy either. So, I tell them, have somebody in your life that's as level-headed that you can count on, right? That's going to tell you when you do when you're right, and tell you when you're wrong, and hopefully I'm that person in their life too. So I try to build relationships like that. So I know that at least they're getting that from one person in their life, right? That's gonna be me, right? So opposed to having, I don't know, we'll just, having parents that tell them that they're perfect all the time, that their kid does no wrong. That's not healthy. Or having, that one kid in school that's like always likes to give them a hard time and criticize them about everything they do for out of envy or out of just being a mean kid or whatever it is, right? So I think find somebody where you can root yourself, and talk to, and hopefully that's what being part of a sport is, So building those relationships, building those bonds, and having that coach that could be a straight shooter with you, So and not all kids have that, and I think that's why I think every kid should play a sport. It doesn't matter if they're athletic or not, but to be a part of something that's bigger than themselves.
Yep.
It's completely quickly based on performance and attitude and effort, and that's what really life is. Based on performance, attitude, and effort.
And I think too, to your point, being on a team forces people to have to work together, right? You can't play a football game by yourself. That's
Yeah.
something. I mean, you can play tennis by yourself. You can play golf by yourself. You could go coast to coast on the basketball court by yourself. But we see a lot of 1-on-5 in the NBA and whatnot. But you can't play football by yourself. And I think that football is and I know people say this all the time. And the thing that I find hilarious, Tom, is when people say something's cliche, my response is, well, that probably means it's true as well. Because the truth is, when people
That's
say
right.
football's just like life. Yeah, it is. And I've said it before, and someone else said it on my show. Imagine if we took life and we put it in a huddle, and we looked at people of different backgrounds and genders and sexual orientation. Just think about all of this. If you took just a football team and you had different religions, different nationalities, different backgrounds, different orientations, this, that, whatever, and you put them all together and said, okay, we got to win this game. We got to buckle down. The 11 of us that are on the field right now, we got to figure this out. There's been a world where we've blurred lines on the football field for decades. And in actual society, we haven't blurred those lines yet. So I tell people all the time, we need to get in a locker room. We need to get in a huddle, because if we did and we saw that, hey, you're a different color than me. Hey, you're a different religion than me. But guess what? You're my wide receiver. You're my quarterback. I'm your offensive lineman, and we need to score this touchdown. If only we could treat life like we treat football.
Oh, I agree. That's funny you say that, because I say the same things to my players as well. Because I mean, obviously, I think all sports are great. Of course, I think football is the best, and that's one of the reasons. That's one of the kind of, I don't know, facts that I say about football is different than all other sports. I mean, if you want to be a great, sometimes if you want to be great at, skiing or tennis, you have to come from a background that's pretty wealthy, or golf. That's a wealthy, or hockey. Those are wealthy sports. So not that excludes, a lot of the poor, right? If you want to play basketball, typically most basketball people are going to be highly athletic and tall. Well, that's going to exclude the short, fat guys, right? So if you take a look at football, you can have your tall, you can have your short, you can have your slender, you can have your thick kids, you can have your rich, you can have your poor. So it really includes all types of people from a physical standpoint.
That coming here from Tom Baleno. Tom, before I let you go, as we're very philosophical and bringing a lot of positives and open people's minds, hopefully this morning, to love each other and be good to each other. You got a football game coming up, and it's all love and all positivity, and hands will be, shaken at the beginning of this game. And then it's down to play some football. Section 5 Class A champ, the Hilton Cadets, they just defeated Jamestown 49-34 in a high scoring game. They got you on Friday Night Lights this November 25th, the day after Thanksgiving, on Black Friday, but it's at 6 p.m. So you should all be done shopping by then, because you're probably getting up. I think Black Friday starts at 4 p.m. on Thanksgiving now, which is insane to me. You have to leave dinner to go get that camera for $5. But I might be going out on Black Friday just to get dog food for my dog Lily. Go to Target and be like, hey, I want $3 off this dog food because all of these prices. That's the one thing they should do on Black Friday. Lower all the grocery prices so I could buy eggs, dog food, milk, the normal stuff, So Friday Night Lights at 6 p.m. You're at Union-Endicott. You get to host this. You get to be here and host the state semis. However, you're the away team, but that doesn't matter because you'll be in front of your fans and coming out of your tunnel. How important and how vital is that to be an extra catalyst, that whether it's home or away on the actual scorecard, you're at home for the state semis?
Well, it's nice to be at home. It's something that's it's like another gift to give to the seniors. This will be their last time playing at Cycop Stadium, so that's gonna be exciting. It's a great gift to give to the community. So the UE football community and the community in general in Endicott just loves their football. So it's great to play one more home game. Is it an advantage or not? I don't know. I think it might be an advantage because it's called Black Friday and we're orange and black. So hopefully it'll be orange and black Friday. Friday at 6 o'clock. Hopefully we play to our potential. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a battle. Hilton's is a very good team, so it's going to be great to be a part of it.
What can you tell me about Hilton? What are you seeing on film?
They're big. They're big. They're strong. They're old school football. Power football. So it's going to be it'll be a challenge for us. So, but like last week we played against West Jenny, and all season long we didn't really play against a running quarterback with a running back as fast and dominant as what they had. So that was a challenge that we had to kind of look at and face and figure out how to slow them down. And hopefully we have to figure out how to slow down a very powerful offense. So we're gonna have a task at hand, but we'll as long as we play and we give our greatest effort, then we'll be able to live with no regrets afterwards, win or lose.
They played 11 games where they scored at least 30 points this season, speaking of Hilton. And their only loss this season is when they were held by Webster Schrader to 14 points. Just what your takeaways are from that. I mean, this, like you said, high-powered offense. They're constantly scoring 30 plus, but the one time somebody kept them under 20, they got the victory. So just what you could say about your defense against their offense, and if you feel like, some of the things your defense has done up to this point can help to limit those chances, or limit those opportunities for them, because we know your defense has takeaways, and obviously if you keep your offense on the field for long periods of time, you don't have to worry about a high powered offense if they don't have the ball. So what are you doing right that you feel like can be effective against a team that is typically scoring high, but in the one time where they scored low, somebody was able to get the best of them?
Well, I think it's just like any other game. It's going to be coming down to, blocking and tackling. And now the defenses, we're talking about defense. We just have to be good tacklers. So we have to play assignment football, do your job and just, secure tackles. So their running back he's tough. He's strong. So, and he can run really hard. So we're going to have to gang tackle, rally to the ball and do our jobs.
Last note here, Union-Endicott, what do you want to say to the fans, to the community, why they should come out, and what is it about this game that you're so grateful for?
Well, come on, watch. You can watch on TV, but there's nothing like being there in person. It might be cold, but we do actually have our stadium set right behind our school. So there's a cafeteria, which is a massive cafeteria. So it's almost like skybox seating. So I think I think Union-Endicott has one of the best venues around. So it's great. So hopefully we can get some of the elderly and others in the warmth of the school so they can watch the game. But if not, be out in the cold and cheer us on, feel the energy, feel the passion, feel the love of football and the love the UE community has for UE football and be a part of it. So we're thankful. It's Thanksgiving time, and I've always wanted to have practice on Thanksgiving. So I'm looking forward to practice on Thanksgiving, celebrating the day with the team, our second family, right? So we're thankful for just being together and having opportunities to play. In the playoff era, this is UE has never gotten past this game. So we've been to this game. This is our fourth time since the playoff era. So it's going to be a little bit different. It'll be special. And we have an opportunity, and we want to kind of, this team wants to set their mark on UE history. So by winning this game, so it's going to be a tough task at hand, and we're going to, hopefully we'll be able to rise to the challenge and play in the dome the week after. But we have to take one play at a time, one quarter at a time, and put all four quarters together. So hopefully, things will work out for us, and we'll just give great effort.
Well, congratulations on getting to practice on Thanksgiving, and it's time to write new history. Tom Baleno, head football coach, Union-Endicott with the Tigers. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.